to forgive all of us at our house.
Yes, Lord.
I ask you to I ask you
Keep us safe, Lord.
in Jesus' name.
Yes, Lord.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, so we are going to get back into what we were talking about.
Nine. Let her talk and quit talking.
Excuse me. Might want to look up. We were talking about what classifies you to be an entrepreneur. It's just a little discussion topic. We were talking about our word month is entrepreneur. That's what we started off with for the first day of school. And what did we say an entrepreneur was, class?
A person that makes his dreams come true.
Business.
And start his own business.
There you go. All right. Business. A business owner. A person that owns their own business. And we were talking about some things. What qualifies you to be an entrepreneur right now? Sometimes you might think because I'm a kid, well, I can't be an entrepreneur. Well, I beg to differ. There's a 9-year-old little girl right now that has a tea business, 4th grader. And she's in the newspaper for having a tea business. And there's so many other different children who were go-getters and said, I want to do something, whether they started a non-for-profit or whatever the case was, and they decided to step out on faith and work themselves into owning a business, whether they're helping out the community or whether it's for their own personal situation. So no matter what age you are, there's no age bracket to becoming a business owner. You can do whatever you set your mind to doing. You can achieve whatever you set your mind to achieve. So, Marae, can I please ask you to hold your head up, dear? That's not how we sit in class. Put your book down and let's be a leader on today. No matter what goes on, we're not going to let the enemy steal our joy. We are going to fight this fight. He would come to try to bring distractions because you all are praying for a change to happen and take place. So we are going to continue to just allow God to use us in our attitudes, in our ways, in our thoughts, and in our hearts on today and throughout, our life. So we were saying some things that it takes to be an entrepreneur. It takes strategy, it takes patience, diligence, determination, discipline, faith. It takes courage, and it takes not having fear. Can you talk about one of these pointers or one of these aspects as to why you believe it is true? It takes one of those scenario words in order to be an entrepreneur. Anyone? Raise your hand. Yes.
Well, you need faith to you need faith in order to make sure that you need faith and patience. Because if you don't have patience, how you're going to get anywhere? If you're like, this is taking too long, then you just give up after like the second day.
That's right. That is so true. That is so true. I can use us for an example, not giving too much details, but we are learning it takes so much more than what we thought. I mean, of course, it's going to take some work because not everyone is an entrepreneur. If it was so easy, everyone would be an entrepreneur. Everyone would be out there working for themselves and making a name for themselves. So it's not an easy task being an entrepreneur. It takes some grit. It takes determination. It takes you having a spark in your heart in order for you to pursue something so tough, because it's a relationship. You like have to have a relationship with that business in order to be go into business for yourself. You have to take a vow that you're going to get up every day, that you're going to get up and go work this thing, that you're not going to give up on it, that you're not going to lose faith in it, that you're not going to because it's going gets tough, you just quit on it. It's like being in a real relationship, and it takes a lot of patience and just a mind to say, this is what I want to do, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to step out on faith. Sometimes you don't need money. Sometimes all you need is faith in order to do what we feel is the unthinkable or the impossible. But when you know that this is something that the Lord has put on your heart, you can do the impossible with God, because with God all things
Through Christ
are
through God, all things are powerful.
possible.
Oh yeah.
What
possible.
match
You
is
gotta,
this?
yeah,
That got me mixed up.
Excuse me, what
Possible,
match is
possible.
this? I don't know which.
So this is a sentence maker. It says the man climbed over. You gotta make it into a sentence. Climbed over. Where's it at? Over a mouse. So it doesn't have to make sense. This is a silly sentence maker. Yeah, you can make it sound as silly as you want it to sound.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
No. Okay.
Now you get it? You want some more words?
The boy jumped over the sandwich.
There you go. The man, not the boy. It says the man. I have to read it.
Says
The
man
Climb
over
over.
the
You
sandwich.
gotta put the A in there if you wanted to say A. A sandwich. A hero. And
A
here's some more words here for you.
boy jumped.
A what?
A boy.
A what?
A
A
boy.
what?
A boy. A man.
Yes.
And man jumped over a sandwich.
Yes. All right. So
You wanna lay down?
Man, I'm gonna do this.
in order to know,
the
y'all, we have to listen
man
for the door
jumped
too.
over.
So stay
and
quiet. Stay quiet.
dinosaur.
Good job. All right. In order to know a lot of times what your purpose is, you have to be inspired by something. God puts inspiration in us. He puts dreams in us, visions in us, things that we aspire to do. Sometimes we don't see ourselves doing it. Sometimes, like me, sometimes it's hard because I feel like a lot of times people are gifted in areas. And maybe I am gifted, but I don't see it as a gift because I don't see it as immaculate as I would see someone else is able to do, the things that I do. Like everybody, it's a lot of people in this world that can braid, but I see braiders that braid in such an immaculate, such a beautiful, extraordinary way. And so, creatively, to where I'll be like, well, my stuff is so plain. Mine doesn't look like other people. But guess what? When it comes to business, only you can do what God created you to do. And God wants people to love what only you can do and only what you can bring to the world. So we have to take that into account, that when there's something that God has purposed us on this earth to do, the people, the whole world is waiting on you. So even if it's something that you're doing that someone else is doing, guess what? The only person that can do what you do the way that you do it is you. So you have to see yourself how God sees you. How does God see you? He sees you as beautiful. He created you wonderfully. He fearfully and wonderfully made you. He doesn't make junk. He doesn't make trash. He said when he made man, it was good. Right? Yes.
And he can also, he also sees you as a nice person. He sees you as
Put your foot down.
a shooting star. He also sees you as
Mike.
one of his children.
Yes, he does. He made you set apart. He made you peculiar. You're different. There's nothing that is like anyone else. No one else is like you. You are unique. He knows the numbers on your head, and everybody here in this world is different. Everyone is special in their own way. I'm not having it. So we need to understand that you are special in your own way. And the way you do things, no one else can do it. So you cannot ever say that you're not good enough or what you do doesn't amount to anything, because if God made it, that means that it is good and that it is right and it is just right and it is perfect, because God doesn't make mistakes. So we're going to take that into account. Are there any more words that you would add up here to this? What classifies a entrepreneur? What are some things that it takes to be an entrepreneur? Guts. Yes, it takes pure guts. Because I'm telling you, Lord, I'm coming up on some scary stuff that makes me want to sit paralyzed. But if I sit paralyzed, guess what? I'm not going to get anything done. Guts. It takes guts. Write it down.
It takes responsibility.
Yes, responsibility.
Leadership.
I love it.
Perseverance.
Woo, hold on. I like that. S-I-B-I-L-I-T-Y. What did you say, Michael? Leadership. Yes.
Respect.
Hold on. Daniel said something. What did you say, Daniel?
Perseverance.
Huh?
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Pursue your dream.
Hey, you trying to make me spell. You said respect. Yeah, it does. You have to respect yourself and enough to give yourself a fighting chance. If you don't respect yourself, you're just going to keep quitting and you're not going to give anything a chance. Yes, a good heart. That's good. That's good.
You don't want nobody walking in your store. Hey, how you doing? Get out.
Yes, wonderful. That's what it takes. Make sure you write these extra ideas that you put out here. Get your pencil. I want to see writing students. Do y'all need some coffee this morning?
Yes.
Y'all need some coffee?
I want some coffee.
Y'all need some coffee?
I
I wish I would. Shoot, give you guys a douse of Mountain Dew.
Me!
Coffee.
I don't like Mountain Dew.
Y'all didn't get enough sleep today, last night?
Felt like 2 minutes.
I told you gotta get up at 6. Y'all thought I was playing. I didn't even get you up at 6 like I'm supposed to. I got you guys up at 7 this morning. We was late, but we still arrived at class on time at 8:30 on the dot. Yes, we did.
So that means it'll end at 2:55, just like the schedule.
8:30, babies. Yes. So we're gonna get off of this topic and we're gonna move on to our next topics for today, and we're gonna keep it going. This has been a great day. The kids woke up this morning. What we're working on is our leadership evaluation form. And no, I'm not going to get on the camera right now because I look like a mom. So, what we learned, what we're doing is how to be independent. They're getting older. And so, with being older comes more responsibilities. And so, this daily evaluation leadership form is a form that is going to teach them to do what they're supposed to do with prompting. And these are the things that are on the list. They have to wake up on time. So when I get up, I'll ring the bell or the alarm, or I'll say, get up, it's time to get up. Then they have to follow the routine chart. And the steps on there tells them what they're supposed to do every day. And that is posted up in our laundry room, on our laundry room door. But the 3 steps that I require on the evaluation form: you get up, you say your prayers, you clean your floor, and you conduct your hygiene and put up your pajamas if they're clean. And then every day, Monday through Friday, they will get a check if they did these things without me having to tell them to do it. And you shouldn't have to have me tell you to do it if it's written down somewhere on the board. You could just go refer to the board on what you're supposed to do if you don't know what to do. Okay, number 2 is they eat breakfast on time, and then you clean up the kitchen after you're done eating. And if they get an X for this action, that means they didn't clean up after themselves or they didn't do what they're supposed to do. When I came in this morning, today was so much of a different day. It was so beautiful. I should have took a picture. It was a Kodak moment. Everybody was sitting at the table. They were quiet. They were eating, and they were finishing up homework so that they could get it turned in on time. Real quick, for this morning. Every day they're supposed to turn in their homework at 9:05. Otherwise, it gets marked late. Half credit for late work. So today was a Kodak moment because everyone was sitting at the kitchen table quiet, and they looked so beautiful. I'll tell you, when you put kids up to the test and up to a challenge, they will meet the challenge. If you raise the bar and raise the standard on them, they will arise to meet that standard if you hold them to it. It's all about consistency. Okay, number 3, they have to arrive to class on time. Homework must be turned in by 9:05 and prepared to come to class with all supplies. So they should know that between the time of them getting ready for school and eating breakfast, they need to come down with all of their homework, books, book bag, pencils, whatever they need, so they can be prepared for class. So when the bell rings at 8:30, they don't have to ask me, can I go get this? I forgot this, I forgot that. We're teaching them how to be prepared. So when they're go out to this work world, they can't say that they didn't get taught or trained how to do what they were supposed to do as a person. And today we got some marks off because some people did not have their books. But we are going to be better tomorrow, and every day is going to be better and better. So our next form of agenda on the list is uniform ready. Uniforms must be clean and pressed and tucked in. Now we're about to have a lesson on ironing for those who don't know how to iron yet. And I have one student that is without their uniform. They are not dressed. So things like that gets marked off. And it's not tolerable to not be dressed up for school. So they have to learn. They need to find their uniforms the night before so that they can be, neatly laid on the bed or hanging in their closet or in their drawers, so they can just get it and get them to be put on for the next day. Leadership. They must be quiet and ready for instruction when they come into the classroom. They must be doing their daily work, morning work assignments, without me having to tell them to do it, because there's a schedule that's printed up for them so that they'll know what they're supposed to do every day. Who took initiative when others didn't? So if someone decided to clean off the tables or dishes because someone else left it, they're going to get points, marked good for that, while everyone else is getting marked off for that. Please don't set that up anymore. Exuding good behavior. Did not complain or murmur. We don't tolerate complaining and murmuring. There's no reason to complain at all for anything. You're a child. You're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. That's the end of it. Does not make any excuses. We don't have excuses. When you don't bring your work, or if you're not dressed up for school properly in your uniform, guess what? You get marked off for that. There are no excuses. Time is running out. And I love to give this to them. It makes me feel so good to say it. If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. All right, we're about to get out of here. No touching school equipment without permission. And our next slide is does chores without being told. At the end of each day, they have a chore chart they have to follow for their weekly chores. They have to make sure their bedroom's clean and whatever their assigned chore area is, as well as the closets and things of that nature. So that is a beautiful evaluation for leadership, teaching my children how to be leaders in this society, in this big, cruel world. And they are going to live up to the expectations. And we just thank God. And we're going to say, we're signing out, you people.
Bye. Bye.
We're out of here.